My name is Scott Ingram, and welcome to 2030 Lab 7, and we're going to be working with printers today. First, we're going to configure the Windows 2000 801 computer as a print server. We're going to set up 3 printers. Printer 1 with an for executives with a priority of 99. Printer 2 will point to the same print device as printer 1 and will have a priority of 50. Printer 3 will be set as a print pool and will also attach 2 compatible printers to create that print pool. Second, we will set permissions so that the executive can print to printer 1 and everyone to printer 2, and everyone will also be allowed to print to printer 3. We will create these groups and users in Active Directory so we can perform the test. We will also be deploying printers to the Windows 2000 802 computer through the domain. And then fourth, we will demonstrate that the exec can print to printer 1 and anyone can print to printer 2 or 3. And we will display the print queue to prove this. So let's begin. Alright, I'm in the Instructor 01 computer. I have created 2 users. One user is Everyman. The second user is the exec user. There are 2 groups that have been created. The everybody group, it is here. Everyman is in this group and exec user is in this group. And there is also the executives group. And in the executives group, only the exec user is in this group. We will be using these 2 gentlemen for testing. Alright, we will be installing print services on the Windows 2000 801 computer. As you can see, we are in. We will double click roles. We will click into add roles. We will skip this page, the before you begin page. We will click on print services and we will click next. Some things to note, an introduction to print services. So we will click next and we will click install, and the print services will install. And the print service has installed successfully. We will click close and we have print services. Alright, now we're going to add a print driver. We're in the Windows 2000 801 computer still. We're going to click start. We're going to go to our administrative tools and we're going to go down to print management. In print management, there are several different filters, and these are the print servers. Down to the 801 local, that's the server we're on, and we're going to right click that and we're going to click to add a driver. It brings up the welcome to the add printer driver wizard. We'll click next. We're going to use an x86 type printer driver, so we'll click next. Now we're going to pick the driver. In the lab, the driver is an HP LaserJet 4, so we'll be looking for that one. And here is our HP LaserJet 4. We'll click next, and we will says you have successfully completed the add printer driver wizard, and we're about to add the following driver, the HP LaserJet 4 x86 type 3, and we'll click finish. And as you can see, here's our HP LaserJet 4 driver added in. Alright, now we're going to add some printers. We are going to add 5 printers. Printer 1, printer 2, and printer 3. Printer 1 for the executive, printer 2 is the everyone printer, and we're going to allow everyone to print to printer 3. It'll be a printer pool, and we're going to add the extra 2 to take care of that printer pool. So we'll right click on printers. We'll click add printer. We're going to use add a TCP IP or web services printer. We'll click next. Alright, we're going to set this up as a TCP IP device. We're going to add in a IP address. We're going to put in IP addresses above the IP addresses we already have. We'll leave the auto detect off, and we'll just click next and let it look for this, even though we know that's really not there. Alright, it said the device is not found on the network, and that's really no surprise to us. We're going to set up the device with a generic network card, standard. Click Next. Alright, we're going to use an existing printer driver on the computer. And we will click Next. This is the one we just put in. We're going to give the new name to the printer. We're going to call this printer Printer 1. We're going to share this printer, and we'll make the share name Printer 1 also. So we'll click Next, and then we'll see that the printer is found. We're going to go forward, click Next, and we will finish, and Printer 1 appears. Now I'll go through the rest and show that Printer 2 through 5, and we'll go through the same process. Alright, in Printer 2, we are using the same IP address as Printer 1, and it gets a little extra thing here onto the port, and so they will be sharing the same printer. Alright, so as you can see, I've added Printer 1 through 5. Alright, now we're going to manage some permissions. We'll go to the Printer 1, and I'll open up the Manage Sharing here. As you can see here under Security, I've added the Executives group and removed the Everyone group from the Executives group, and the Executives are allowed to print, and we're going to let them manage documents. Right here under the Advanced tab, we set the priority for the Printer 1, which is for the Executives. And the priority is supposed to be 99. So we'll set that as 99. Now in Printer 2, we're allowing everyone, and we're also allowing the everybody group that was created here to work and print from Printer 2. We're going to go under the Advanced tab, and Printer 2 for these guys is supposed to have a priority of 50. So we will put that in. Right now we're going to enable printer pooling. We're going to go down here to, here's our Printer 3. We're going to click Enable Printer Pooling. We're going to click on Printer 4. We're going to click on Printer 5. And we're going to apply that. You can see now that there's Printer 3, Printer 3 or Printer 4, Printer 3 or Printer 5. So printer pooling has been enabled. As you can see, I am in the 2008-02 computer. I am logged in as the exec user. As the exec user, I have access to all of my printers on my network, but I do not have access to Printer 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5. So I'm going to have to deploy these out now. I'm back in the 801 computer working with my printers. This is Printer 1. I'm going to click Deploy with Group Policy. I'm going to Browse. I'm going to use the default domain policy of lucernepublishing.com and click OK. I'm going to click to deploy this printer connection to the users this GPO applies to. I will click Add, and that adds my Printer 1 to the default domain policy on a per user basis, and I'll click OK. Printer deployment succeeded. Alright. Okay. Now I'll do that on Printer 2, and I'll do that on Printer 3, and I'll only do it on Printer 3 itself because they're in a printer pool 3, 4, and 5. Now I will log on as exec user. And you can see the deployed printer connections policy is being applied. Now that I'm in my 802 machine, I'll go to Control Panel, I'll go to Printers, and I have Printer 1, Printer 2, and Printer 3 open to me. Alright, I am the exec user, and I have put together a notepad document. It says I'm the executive, I have privileges, and now we will see the privileges that I have. I have access to printer 1. So I will attempt to print to printer 1. It says I printed. You can see there that there is one document in the printer spool on printer, and right down here in the print spool it shows that there was an untitled notepad document sent by exec user 1. It didn't print because there's no real printer. So it was sent to 192.168.1.105. Alright, now you can see I'm on 802 again. This time I've logged in as Everyman. And you can see that Everyman, he doesn't get printer 1. He don't even know where it's at. All he gets is printer 2 and printer 3. So I've created a document here. It says, I am Everyman. I do not have privileges. It's tough being Everyman. So we'll go to print. And we'll see what we can do here. Let's go back one. Now we will choose printer 2 on the 801. And we will click print. And you can see printer 2 has one in the spool here, one document. And right up here is the spool. It's the untitled notepad again. It's printing for Everyman, and it's trying to go to printer 2. We know it won't because printer 2 is not there, but that's where he prints to. Alright, now we've created another notepad, and we're still, as you can see, we're still Everyman. Everyman, he wants to print, and he doesn't have the access to the printer 1, but he does have access to printer pool. So he's going to try to click with printer 3. He's going to print there. So we'll go to printer 3 and we'll click print. That's what we're printing. Bring that down. As you can see here, printer 3 has one ready. We'll open up printer 3. As you can see here, here's the spool, the untitled notepad from Everyman, and he's sending it to 108, which is printer 3. Actually, 108 is the low number. I think it's printer 5, but it's sending to printer 3, so that shows we're set up our printer pool correctly. So we're finished playing with printers, and we hope you've enjoyed this tutorial.